Levarme la moustache en la capucha. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquitacatique. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacatiquipuletica. Sammy, levarme la moustache en la capucha.
What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and in this edition of Good, Bad, Ugly, let's be honest. I'm going to start there. Let's be honest. If we really won this game, how many of y'all would really have felt good about it? Because you have to understand that this team started off very poorly. I mean, they were down 24-3 in this game. And to me, the only reason the comeback happens is because of the fact that the Detroit Lions stopped blitzing. They basically went into a prevent defense in the entire second half. Understand that our team is so bad that another team who's probably just as bad went into a prevent defense in the second half. The entire second half. They didn't blitz anymore in the second half. Understand that, people. And what annoys me the most is that there's so many of y'all who sit up here, I trust in Ron. I trust in what Ron's doing. But none of y'all are saying, hey, maybe we gave Ron too much to do. Maybe we set up there, maybe Ron brought the wrong coaches in. Because that is one of the big things that I see. Scott Turner, yeah, he called a good game plan. I'm not going to give him a down for that. But guess what? It didn't look so good in the beginning of the game. It didn't look good until after halftime. Why is that? Why does this team look so bad? I mean, it's just that whatever happened to our youth movement? Isn't this the thing that we were so concerned about when Ron Rivera took over? Was that he believed in veterans more than he believed in the young guys? Sean Dion Hamilton came up with a very good play. Yet and still, guess what they did? Instead of taking out John Boston, they took out Cole Holcomb for Sean Dion Hamilton to come in. How does that make any sense? And then I started to look at the game a little bit deeper and figured out why John Bostic is always in the game. It's because he's the only linebacker calling the plays. And I thought that, I'll be like, okay, well, because Sean Dion Hamilton can call plays, but yes, this is a new system for him, so he has to learn it. But still, you telling me that John Bostic has traveled so much that he knows defensive play calls and defensive plays that he's associated with before? I mean, I saw that he was calling all the plays, which now makes sense why he's in the damn game all the time. But I'm going to go ahead and get into it. The good, Alex Smith had 390 yards. He didn't throw 3 touchdowns, but Antonio Gibson had 3 touchdowns, did a fairly good job running the ball. But again, my thing is, how much of this junk yardage that they got had everything to do with Detroit just bailing out at halftime? Again, I'm not going to downplay the fact that, yes, they scored 3 touchdowns in the second half. But I still have to preface it with the fact that Detroit was playing a prevent defense. Even though they said it was man-on-man, yeah, it was. But it was a lot of zone in there and all that type of stuff. They were just trying not to lose the game. And I'll say this, if I was a Detroit fan, I would want Matt Patricia fired because that came too close. They should have kept blitzing the whole time. But that's just me. The good, like I said, Alex Smith, 390 yards passing. He threw for, I think he had like almost 60 attempts. Insane that he had to throw that much. And again, Terry McLaurin, again, steady as a rock. Cam Sims came up big with a couple plays. So, again, I don't know. I just don't know. Let's get to the bad. The bad has to be, without a doubt, this offense, I mean, I'm just ready to go back to Dwayne. I mean, I'm just ready to go back to Dwayne. I know some of y'all are sitting up in here and y'all saying, well, what about this? What about this? We haven't won more games with Dwayne not being in the game. You're talking about out of all the quarterbacks currently right now, Dwayne won a game and Kyle Allen won a game. Alex Smith has not won a game he's played in at all. So I mean, he's basically what, 0-3? I think it is 0-2, 0-3, 0-3. 0-3 since he stepped in. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, here we are. I mean, this offense doesn't excite me. Like, this game altogether really didn't excite me. I mean, it was one of those games where it seemed like it was dragging. The commentators, Dan Hellie, we know him from this area. He was once the sportscaster here. I think he was with Channel 4 or Channel 7. Whichever one he was with. But anyway, went to the NFL Network, came, and I guess he's calling games now because there were a lot of games on. And Aqib Talib, I mean, you could tell he's just starting out. I mean, to me, to be honest, I mean, it seemed like Aqib Talib was just a guy that was in the hallway, and they was like, hey, you know, why don't you come and do commentary upstairs with us real quick? You know, call the game. We'll see what you can do. The offense, again, it's just, I just don't, I'm not excited about it. I mean, Antonio Gibson, where's this Swiss Army knife thing? Where is it? I mean, I just don't, I don't see it. I see it more with McKissick than I do with Gibson. You know, because to me, at this point right now, my anger about them drafting him in the 3rd round is basically viable. I mean, because again, even with Detroit, Adrian Peterson was carving us up. If they would have stuck with Adrian Peterson, we probably would have lost that game by an even bigger margin. And like I said, you talking about coming down the stretch of the game, in all honesty, they actually went 3 and out. If it wasn't for the penalties, we wouldn't have even got down that far to even score score and get the field goal. So guess what? That would have, again, it's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster because they went 3 and out the first time, got a penalty. Went 3 and out again, got a penalty. Understand this, y'all. I mean, it doesn't look good. And the thing about it is that we all knew this team was going to be bad, which is why a lot of us predicted 6-10. We knew this team was going to be bad. But guess what? Here we are again. Another game they were supposed to win, and they find a way to lose it anyway. I am in agreement with some people. This team does look worse than last year. I understand we started out the gates 0-5. At this point, do we even win another game? I mean, do we actually win another game? Yes, I'm actually saying that. Will we win another game? Because we don't look like we are at all. Ugly. Let's go to the defense. 24 points in 30 points. Defense gives up 30 points again. Here we are, back to 30 points. Back to 30 points. 30 points again. You gave up 30 points. Gave up 30 points today. And then, not only did you give up 30 points, Detroit, with like what, I think it was like maybe what, 14 seconds on the 14 seconds on the clock. 14 seconds on the clock, and came down and was able to kick a field goal to win the game. Jack Del Rio is an awful defensive coordinator, and I've said that from the get-go. Why was this guy given a job after he's been out of the league for 3 whole years? I'm telling y'all, why do we not question the coaching? Why is everybody still believing in Ron Rivera when we had to give him too much power to even come here? Ron Rivera didn't deserve organization controlling power. He didn't deserve that. I mean, he's only been a head coach at one other place. He did not deserve to be given control of the organization just to come here and coach. I mean, realize that our team, our owner is so bad that we have to give so much power to a coach who doesn't deserve the power. That doesn't mean that Ron Rivera can't coach. That just means he got too much stuff to take care of. Jack Del Rio was a terrible hire. Yes, he is. Yes, he was. This defense looks even worse than it did last year. At least last year we saw the potential. Remember, Chase Young was supposed to push us over the edge, and we still haven't gotten there. And then all of a sudden, they're not doing anything in the third quarter. They're not doing anything. No, it doesn't matter that the Lions weren't doing anything. You know why? Because they had already basically put it in cruise control. They basically went into cruise control. I mean, the whole second half, they were practically in cruise control. Because they gashed us up early in the game. They just thought that they were going to be able to do anything and it wasn't going to matter. But guess what? End of the game, like I said, I think it had to be about like 14 seconds left on the clock. I know it wasn't a lot of clock left. And they came down and still, with seconds on the clock, came down and got the game-winning score. This team is terrible, y'all. And guess what? We gave up our youth movement to do this. Our youth movement that we had going on was given up to do this. This is what we gave up the youth movement for. There was no way in hell we was going to win the NFC East. Looking like this. Understand this. Here we are again. 2 straight games in a row. We should have won and we lost both of them. What game do you see us winning? At this point right now, you say, what game do you see us winning? Cincinnati is playing well enough to beat us. You talking about we got Seattle, we got the Steelers, we got Carolina, we got the Cowboys, and we got the Eagles again. What game do you see us winning? What game do you truly see us winning? Maybe the Cowboys game. If we do win the Cowboys game, guess what that means? 3-13 again. 3-13 again. You're not going to tell me that this defense isn't playing too well because they don't know gap control. That's BS. You're not going to tell me. I mean, Kendall Fuller got smoked on 2 touchdowns. 2. That has nothing to do with gap control. These linebackers, John Bostic was out there the whole game, and I was looking and I just realized I understand why he's on the field all the time, because he's the only linebacker that can call the plays. Because I think that's what they're reliant upon. Instead of Jack Del Rio saying, here's the play, call this play, and then everybody should be in there where they supposed to be. This team is awful. This team is awful. I'm done with us going away from the youth movement that we had in place. I want to go back to the youth movement. I want Dwayne back in the lineup. I mean, he's not going to look any better because guess what? We had an injury that happened today. So now we got Gerard Christian, left tackle, injury reserve, whatever. He didn't play. Then today, Cornelius Lucas goes down. Morgan Moses had to switch to the left side. Why? Why are we not questioning Ron Rivera? Why are we not questioning Ron Rivera, and his coaching staff. Ken Zampese is the quarterback's coach. Yet still you telling me Dwayne Haskins isn't ready? That tells me that's poor fucking coaching. Sorry for my language. I apologize for that. But that's poor coaching. Ken Zampese should be fired. Jack Del Rio got control of what is possibly the youngest and most talented defense in the entirety of the NFL. And guess what? They don't look nowhere near as good as they should. This was a terrible game. I personally, and I'm going to tell y'all, even if we won, I still wouldn't have felt good about this game. I still wouldn't have. Because at the end of the day, we gave up so many points in just the first half of the game. So many points in the first half of the game. And like I said, if it wasn't for Detroit going on cruise control, this would have been an absolute demolishing of us. They stopped blitzing. They even went as far as to really stop throwing as deep as they were. They didn't even pick on Kendall Fuller like they could have. Hell, Troy Apke came in the game and they didn't even pick on him. They went into cruise control in the second half. Another loss. I honestly don't see us winning another game. We might beat the Cowboys again. I don't know, because they seem to be getting their people healed back up. So I don't know. By the time we play them, Andy Dalton may be back. So again, this team is no good. It's time to go back to the youth movement. And at this point right now, I don't care what any of y'all say. Our franchise quarterback was always on the team in Dwayne Haskins. The problem was that we had a coach that came in here who was veteran happy and benched the young guys. Because I've yet to see a veteran bench for any young guys other than Troy Apke. And the only reason that happened was because Troy Apke was playing so terribly. This has been your man, John Fortune. And this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.